Hey, it's David and Brian from VMblog, and we're here in San Diego.
And we're covering the KubeCon Cloud Native 2019 conference, and here's some of the highlights from the show. We're here at KubeCon 2019 in San Diego, and we're visiting with Blameless. Can you tell me a little bit about the company and what you're showing here at KubeCon?
Sure. Hey, Brian. My name is Usher Risky. I'm with Blameless. Blameless is a reliability engineering platform that's basically taken all of the reliability engineering best practices from companies like Google and Netflix, uses intelligent automation to take those practices and help companies resolve incidents 30x faster, ensure that postmortems always get done, and has a bunch of automation around it. We show companies how to set up their SLOs and error budgets and stay within their SLAs that they're promising to their customers. And throughout that, with this reliability operating system, what you end up getting is the ability to move fast without actually breaking.
And how do you fit into the Kubernetes ecosystem, and what specific problems do you solve?
So what's happening in today's world is that more and more applications are being containerized and moving to the Kubernetes world, right? And the nature of those applications really determines what needs to be monitored. And that monitoring specifically is what is the thing that reflects my customer's happiness, right? So in the Kubernetes world, those kinds of metrics, the customer happiness metrics like availability and latency and error rates, those are usually captured via Prometheus or some sort of Kubernetes native monitoring system. And what we do is we sit on top of that ecosystem and can sort of drive the workflow that helps you create the SLOs for those user happiness metrics, monitor them, and then set policies that allow you to take action preemptively before those issues become incidents for your customers. Right? So that's kind of how we fit in. We plug into the Kubernetes orchestration layer to sort of drive automation and workflows underneath based on what we're seeing from those SLO and error budget burn downs.
And can you maybe tell us a little bit more about the SRE platform?
Yeah, so SRE as a practice has been around for roughly 15 years. Google coined the term back in the early 2000s, and it was driven by a set of principles that, where Google is operating at planet scale, and the number one thing for them, the most important feature for Google is actually reliability. And so they've perfected this over the last 15 years or so, wrote a book about it. You've got other companies that are fast-growing technology companies that have all adopted these SRE practices to really make reliability a tier one focus for applications, right? And so Google wrote a book about it. What we've done is we've taken a lot of those practices and built those into the platform. So as a developer, if you're thinking about your application and you want to inherit the best reliability practices, that's where Blameless just makes it really easy to adopt those SRE practices.
And where can people go if they want to find out more information about Blameless and some of the stuff you talked about today?
We've got obviously our website, blameless.com. We've got a blog that we do. We do a lot of events. We have our Blameless Summit that we do twice a year. We're always at events like Kubernetes, like KubeCon and SRECon and DevOps Days. We're very, very heavily involved in the DevOps and SRE community, operations and infrastructure community as well. So that's where you can usually find a presence of ours. And of course, on our website, as I mentioned, blog page, what we do is we bring a lot of the SRE thought leaders that have done this for the last 10, 15 years, have done it well, and have created a community around it that we then convert into content that people can consume and really understand how they can take advantage of what other companies are actually doing.
So is there a demo that we can take a look at?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to show you over here at our booth.
So what are we going to take a look at?
So we're going to go deep into just a quick demo of the different parts of the Blameless platform, and more importantly, what are the problems we're actually trying to solve for our users.
Great.
Over here. So I'll start with the first component of Blameless, which is the incident resolution collaboration bot. Now this bot sits inside your collaboration platform like Slack or Microsoft Teams, and its job is to help orchestrate the resolution of the incident as quickly as possible. In today's world, it's usually human beings that are trying to collaborate and communicate and try to get this incident resolved, while the Blameless bot comes in and automates that end to end. So what you end up seeing is a 30x improvement in time to action, how long it takes you to actually take the first action to resolve the incident, and at least a 50% improvement in the total resolution time of the incident. What we're doing is that we are creating roles for people, assigning roles to them, creating checklist tasks, integrating with your Zoom or Google Hangouts API, inviting people in, integrating with the PagerDuties and the OpsGenies of the world to send pages and notifications out, and just like really speeding up the response process. Throughout that entire cycle and all the communication that's happening inside this chat platform, we're capturing it and automating the generation of the timeline and other metrics that really become valuable when you're trying to do your postmortem. Now, with postmortems, we all agree that they're absolutely critical to do so that you can capture the learnings and prevent repeat issues from happening again. The challenge is that they're extremely toil intensive. They're very difficult to do because the amount of effort that it takes to collect the data to drive a certain process around it. Well, what we've done at Blameless, we've automated that end to end so that 90% of the toil that goes into doing a postmortem is eliminated so that no incident ever gets left behind and no follow-up action item ever gets left behind or undone. The third part of our platform is relatively new but extremely important. Is what we've done is we've taken the concept of SLOs and error budgets and really productized this. And what that means is that we'll sit on top of your existing monitoring stack, whether it's Datadog or New Relic or AppDynamics or whatever folks are, or Prometheus, whatever folks are using today. And there's a guided walkthrough that takes a developer through the journey of defining, selecting their SLIs, setting SLOs. Through that, we calculate an error budget for them, and then we monitor the error budget. And more importantly, we allow our users to set policies on these error budgets. So for example, if you start to consume an error budget because of some error inside a service, well, we can catch that before it turns into a customer-facing issue and either block deployments from going out, start an incident preemptively, or just send out some notifications and alerts. Then the final piece within Blameless is what we call reliability insights. You can kind of think of us as the central nervous system that connects across your entire DevOps and infrastructure stack and collecting all this operational information about how your teams are responding, about the different systems that are in place, about the status of action items and postmortems. All of that data is flowing into our data lake. And what that means is that we now give you the ability to glean insights from all that data and start asking some very complex questions. For example, show me the status of my open action items from my incidents that impacted my customers in the European region 2 weeks ago. Now those data sets live across different systems. As you use Blameless, it's all flowing into our system, and we are giving you the intelligence to combine all that data together to make meaningful decisions on, hey, what are areas that we need to be investing more in when it comes to reliability, and comparing that to investing in velocity. Right, so now you can have an objective, data-driven discussion around it. And that's pretty much it.
Great. Well, thanks for taking the time to speak with VMblog.
Thank you, Brian.